Back everyone. Today welcome back to Hill and Wheel channel. Today I have this 2011 Honda Odyssey. Customer saying that it has charging system warning lights on, and also the battery lights on the dash flashing. And I also noticed that when I received the car, I saw the message, and also hearing the whining noise come from this alternator right here. So it has over 114,000 miles on it, so it's about time. It's over 10 years old, and that's about the time that these alternator last. So today I'm gonna show you how to replace the alternator on this Honda Odyssey right here. First and foremost, safety first. So before we do anything, disconnect the battery power, the negative pulse from the terminal, so there's no charge going through the system. Doesn't create any short or anything that could damage the electrical system on this Honda Odyssey. So let's get started. So to get access to the battery terminal, so these are the clips right here, the two clips. You notice this plastic clip right here, and you pull this out, pull this intake tube up, and then you get access to the battery terminal. So here you go. Here's the battery. So we remove this terminal right here. This is the negative, to prevent it from sparking when you touching a negative and positive. Just a safety issue right here. Pretty much with some basic hand tool, you can just get this job done DIY at home to save some money, or if you don't feel comfortable, take it to the mechanic and have them do it for you. First and foremost, we remove this negative battery over here. You know, it's late at night now, so I'm working with flashlight and whatever lights that I have, so it's not that hard to do. And I also remove this cover up here, the plastic cover up here, the two clips, one here, one over here. Turn it to counterclockwise and take that out. It's pretty straightforward and easy. To get access to the alternator, a couple things that we may have to remove is down there. You see the alternator is the one right there, very top pulley there. That's where the alternator is. And we have to get the alternator right here. As you can see, my finger pointing there. We need to remove this drive bell or the alternator bell, or 17 bell, sometimes we call it, and a couple more electrical wire on top of it to get access to it. And it's these AC line maybe in the way, and then also that power steering reservoir and all these area will be in the way, so we'll move them slowly out of the way to get access to the alternator. So it's going to be a fun job because I just do it myself and recording at the same time. There's no assistant or anything, or anyone assist me to do this job right here. That's fairly easy. So first of all, this one is easy to access, so we can remove this AC line bracket over here to give it a little wiggle room to do it. You may say that I'm crazy to doing these type of work by myself, and nobody helping me recording. That's fine. That's a fun part, right? Just sharing, loving and sharing. That's a fun part. And I remove this cover over here, ECM cover over here. It's a plastic cover. We can remove it by let's see how we remove it. Lifting it up. Yeah, just lift it, lift it straight up, and then it's relieved from the lock and tab there. You may break it sometime, but that's fine. It's just plastic. the hood rod is in the way, so I'm gonna move it and then take that cover. I get this ECM cover off, and then we're gonna remove this reservoir. Just loosen it up, just so that we have some wiggle, some play to working around with that. And then this coolant reservoir over here, may have to move it out of the way so that we have more room to work on to pull the alternator out later on. It's just a plastic clip here. Then pull it straight up. I'll just push it to the side there. This is one of the tightest one, but it's okay, we can do it. Anything that in the way, we just move it out of the way and make the job easier. Another thing you can do is you can remove this clip right here for the power steering. Then that will give you a little more room, but we'll see if we need to remove that, or we can do it without removing the power steering holes. Now next step is we going to remove the drive bell. If you know, and then you notice here, that's top one right there, this top pulley right here, this one right here, as you can see, there are two, the top one and the bottom one. The top one is the tensioner, so that's what we're going to do. We will use the 14 millimeter bowl, and I happen to have this long 14 millimeter range to help me release the tension on that tensioner. So just put the 14 millimeter on, and now we push it toward the back of the engine bay to release the tensioner of the drive bell. I don't know if I can do it with just one hand, but we'll find out. So just push it, then release the tensioner. You can see that the tensioner release and the bell's getting loose. So pushing the tensioner back and relieve the bell from the alternator, and making sure that you hold the bell in place so that later on when you put it back on, you don't have to you have to remember how to put the bell on, otherwise later on you're gonna have some fun figure out how to put it on. Now you can release the tension, and then the bell. One of the tricks that I learned is the bell, you can kind of like put it in between the you kind of like tuck it under here to keep it in place, so that you there you go. Now that out of the way, everything is still in place. What we're gonna do next is get access to this bowl right here, and later on we will use some it's easier if you have two people. Since we don't have any, I am just by myself. I'm gonna use some trick that I figured out on my. When you use this trick, very careful, because the tensioner has tension on it, and this may give you some trouble as well when you're removing that. Now just take this oil dipstick out of the way. Just give it some clearance to access to the all the bolts on top of the alternator there. Now if you notice, on top of the alternator we had the 10mm bolt here, 10mm, and then the rubber bushing on top of it. And on the side here, if you notice on the side here, there's another electrical connector there. Those we need to remove to get to release the to disconnect from the alternator, so it's freely move. We can take it out. Sometimes it's tricky to get to those connector down there, but it's doable. It's not that hard. So now I'm gonna take the 10mm right here off. I'm gonna remove this 10mm down there. Good thing that I have this magnet socket that I can relieve that one. So now this one is loose, and I need to remove this top cover here. And that is a 12mm that holding on to that connector right there. Good thing that that's the old one. Is plastic broken up. Good thing that it's an old one, so I don't have to worry about it. You know, working at home is a big challenge because sometimes we don't have a lot of tool to do it, but it's okay. I'll just use what I have and make it work. So some hand tool, it works in this case. If you want, you can take this coil right here. If you want more room, you can take this coil right here to give you, if you have a bigger hand, and then you can take this 10mm coil out. 10mm here. Take this coil out and give you some more wiggle room to get into that tight spot if you have a bigger hand. In this case, I do have a big hand, so I'm going to remove that. I mean, I don't have to, but it will make my life easier if I remove that. Jing it and drop this 10mm right here. So just unclip this one. Then you just unclip this plastic connector here and pull it out. So now I have that coil off. Now I get more room to get into that easier. See? So why make your life harder if you can just take 2 seconds to remove an extra bolt to get access to this? Sometimes lazy is not always the best one. Here you go. I got the 10mm bolt out. Let's keep it on the side there. And now this one is loose. I can move it. And next, the connector down here, we just move. There's a clip on top. You can peel it back. You see the clip. Push on it. Pull it out. Now it's clear the way for you a lot more. If you want, you can take these connector out to give you a little more room. Don't have to if you can play with tight space, but for me it's just a quick second to remove these and give me a little extra room. To play with. There you go. Now I can tuck this to the side here. So this is brittle. Sometimes it's cracked. You can hear like it's broken, but it's not. Then the top bracket over here, the two follow this one, this right here, this bracket right here need to remove. That hold on to the that's connect hold the alternator to the engine block right here. So the two another 12 millimeter behind this one, and then 12 millimeter down here, and there's a 14 millimeter down all the way down below under the alternator. If you look at the pulley, it untold to the back. Below the pulley, you see the 14 millimeter. If you follow right here, that down there, straight there, see that? That one right there, that's the 14 millimeter hole that I'm talking about. So now the fun part is, how do we remove these two top 12 millimeter? Well, a ratchet ring and a socket will take care of that. Right tie, left loose, so you push it to the left counterclockwise. That's to lose it, and then the top here as well, and then the other 12 millimeter. So the two of them. So what I just did was release one of the bracket bolt there. Remember I talked about the trick to move the tensioner out of the way. So you keep the wrench on the tensioner, and then we use some strap, or in this case I use this bungee cord, making sure it's a big one, the biggest one that you have, and the strongest one that you have, because this will have some tension on it. Please proceed very cautious. If you don't feel comfortable, don't do it. I don't recommend if you don't feel comfortable doing this. So this is what I do. I use the bungee cord to hold the tensioner in place, to give me more room to access to the bowl and the alternator. And then what I do, I just double trap it multiple times, and then I tie it to that engine hook right there to keep it in place. But very careful, making sure that you double check it multiple times and proceed with caution. Now I'm going to continue on moving that bracket and also the 14 millimeter bolt down below there. Gotta feel it where the bolt, line it up, and break it loose. So that's one of them. And then the top one is right here. I already break it loose, so I just remove it, take it out. See the bracket already loose. You can take it all the way out, or you can leave it in there. Let's see if we can leave it in there. Later on will be one less step to put it back on. Now we proceed to the 14 millimeter down below there. Okay, I got it on. So push it to the back to break it loose. It's very tight, so sometimes you need some lever to do it. I need to hire a cameraman or someone to assist me with this. Anybody? anybody volunteer to help me with these video. So making sure that loose. So when you get it loose, you can ratchet it out. It's tight, but so you feel it when it's like come out loose, and then you can turn it out by hand. So this is the 40mm on the bottom. Before you take the alternator out, don't do it so fast, because I'm gonna show you a trick, a tape. Actually, it's a tape that you can do before you take the alternator out too. And then when you install a new one, it makes your life so much easier, because there's a pin in there. It's like a dowel pin. They call it dowel pin. I'll figure out the correct name, but there's a pin in there that spread in and out to hold the alternator in there. If you don't spread it out, you will have a lot of fun time when you put the new one back on. So what you're doing is you holding the alternator with two hands in the front and like this, and then you rock the alternator back and forth like this a couple times. What it does is help pushing the pin back out, so it will help the pin spread out and it's go back that way. So when you put the new one in, you don't have to try to hammer the pin back. That's the trick that's the tip that I learned from my mentor. So it will help your life a lot easier when you install a new one, because the alternator is heavy, and when you push it like that, it uses the leverage to put the pin back, rather than you try to hammer it out. So everything look good. Now we can pull the alternator out of the bracket. I can see that the pin already moved back, so that would be helpful to put when you install a new one on. That's my tip of the day. So now just pull the alternator out like that, and the plan is we're gonna pull it out, and the plan is we're gonna pull this alternator from there through this up here this way right here. So we're gonna pull it out like this way and throughout all these in place, but we'll wiggle it out and it will come out throughout the whole this way come out and then come up this way. Would it be easy? I'm not gonna say it's that easy, but is it hard? Not really. It's doable. So we just move it. And another tip is, you see that the AC line right here, it will be in the way, but it's okay for you to bend it a little out of the way to give you a little bit of clearance to move the alternator out. Don't push too much, okay? Just put a little bit, that you don't need a lot of, it's just in the way tiny bit. So you push it out a little bit, and then you will be able to move it. Now I'm going to move it up, and hopefully the nut bracket in the way. So let's see if we can lift it up and without moving that out. Hopefully we can get some luck. Yeah, we can take it out without removing that, and then slide it up. See, it's already up there, so it's out of the way pretty much. And then kind of like pull it out. The AC line may be in the way a little bit, but you can have some blade to move it around, and then we will pass it through this hole of see if I can pull it up. Okay. So what I did was kind of like play with the puzzle, right? You twist it, you turn it, and it's come out like that already. And then you keep pulling it up, and it should come out already. There you go. Now the alternator. Now the alternator is out of the way. So we got some oil leak here. That's why. And that leak is from the power steering. But I'm not gonna fix that today. I don't have the parts. I don't have the parts to fix the power steering leak in there. But next time I'll show you how to reseal, put a new O-rings and all that fun stuff to that new, to the power steering. And you see that the one I'm talking about is that pin right there. This pin right here. That is the one that we said we will shred out. And if you notice, it by shaking back and forth, it pulls the pin back out this way to toward the outside, like this way. Then you'll see it, the shiny part on it when you're doing it. That's, you know that it's moving out, spreading out, make it easier for you to put the new alternator on.